Hey, Three Count listeners, Dylan here. Now, we filmed the podcast last night for our Royal Rumble preview, but there has been some huge bits of news drop overnight. So I'll reference them very quickly at the top of the pod here. The Rock is now on the board of TKO, which is the parent company of UFC and WWE. He has now also has the rights to the name The Rock back, which he's taken back from WWE. So no doubt The Rock will make a lot of money off of that. But also great for WWE to have him on the board, to have a seat at the table. Maybe not the head of the table, but he is definitely a seat at the table and of a much higher station than Roman Reigns. Now, he has hinted that if a match with Roman Reigns happens, it will be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. So I think it's going to happen, whether it be this year, whether it be next year. I think they're going to slow play it. But yes, he's hinted that it will happen, and now he's on the board. I think that's almost a guarantee. WWE has done a deal with Netflix as well. Raw will be the home of Netflix in the US in 2025. SmackDown and NXT will also be on Netflix in certain international markets. So that is huge for WWE. Netflix obviously has a very huge customer base all across the globe. So that is huge news for WWE. For us in Australia, the Foxtel group, so Foxtel, Binge and KO, has the rights to WWE for many years to come. They are the home of the network over here. So I don't foresee those shows going anywhere anytime soon in Australia. So you can keep enjoying them where they are. When that deal comes to an end, Raw may move to Netflix unless a new deal is done. But for now, everything is safe where it is. And lastly, Kevin Patrick has been let go as the lead announcer of SmackDown. Dave Meltzer reporting that things just weren't working out, that some of the brass higher up weren't really enjoying his work on SmackDown. So they haven't named a replacement yet. I'm assuming it'll either be Michael Cole or maybe Vic Joseph will make the move up from NXT. But yes, Kevin Patrick has been let go of his announcer role. He has not been let go. And anyway, that is the couple of big bits of news that happened overnight. Enjoy the rest of the pod. It is time for the Three Count Podcast. Yeah. Welcome into the show. I'm Dylan Chambers. Joining me, as always, B-Truth, Benny Hobden. Benny, how primed are you for the Rumble?
Mate, Royal Rumble, favourite pay-per-view of the year. I've always said it, and it's the road to WrestleMania. So it's like the beginning of the season, really, or the end of the season, actually, the semi-finals. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you. I cannot wait. Today we're going to run you through not a huge Rumble card, but
No.
but plenty to talk about. That's for sure. We're going to give you all the odds and a lot of special odds for the Rumble matches. We'll throw out a whole bunch of predictions. Plus, we're going to talk all the latest news in the wrestling world. And for our draft this week, we're going to draft the best non-Rumble Royal Rumble pay-per-view matches, if that makes sense.
Bit of a mouthful there.
Bit of a mouthful, but stick around for that. That'll be a fun one. Make sure you follow us on the socials at 3Count Podcast on Instagram, at 3Count Pod on Facebook, and hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're watching or listening to us. Benny, let's get straight into the news. We'll start with WWE. Seth Rollins came out today on Raw. A lot of talk about his injured knee. He's got a grade 2 MCL tear and some problems with his meniscus. He will not relinquish the title. He will be out a few months. Looks like he will have surgery, but he has promised he's going to be back for Mania. Bold call by Seth there.
Yeah, look, I don't know. It is considering what the injury is, but look, we've had people like Triple H come back quicker and all that kind of stuff. So Cody came back quicker. So I think if anybody's going to do it, it'll be Seth. He's very determined human. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And if it doesn't happen, then obviously he's going to have to come out and relinquish the title like his wife did when she was pregnant, really.
Yeah. We will see what happens there. But yes, Seth Rollins not relinquishing the title and is going to rehab like crazy to get back to defend the title at Mania. Day one, Raw day one. The Rock comes out, gives us a little glimmer of a Roman Reigns feud there. What'd you make from The Rock coming back?
Yeah, I didn't know where he was going with that whole that promo at the end there. It was a bit weird. And then obviously the final line, or do I sit at the head of the table? It's a tease. it doesn't give us a timeline. It could be next week, it could be next year. We really don't know. But it's just that enough tease to get everybody talking, get the ball rolling, get everybody excited. But to be honest, he didn't look real fit, did he? Like he didn't look matching. He dropped what, one people's elbow on Jinder, and he was puffed and sweating when he was delivering that promo. So I don't know if The Rock's ready, but we'd love to see him at Chamber, and if that happens, but apparently that's not happening. Um, you know, Tourism WA is pushing hard for it and everything else, but I don't know if we get it at Mania. You've always said they don't need the title to do it, and I guess we'll see where we go from here with the rest of our preview and what happens from there.
I think this is going to be a slow burn. I don't think this is this
Yeah.
year's Mania planning. I think this is next year's Mania planning.
Like Cena and The Rock did, all that
Yeah,
time ago.
Benny throwing some heat on the Rock. Too much weights, not enough speed work, as they say in Was It Once for Warriors?
Well, he has starred with Uncle Bully in one of his movies, so I mean, there you go.
There you go. True. Now Charlotte Flair, she's going to be out 9 months with a devastating knee injury. She went under the knife. So yeah, poor Charlotte. That's a tough one there. Reports are that Cody has signed a very lucrative contract extension. So I think it was for 3 years originally. And I think they've seen the money-making machine that he has become, especially with merch, and they're just inking that for another couple of years.
Well, they've just put him on the cover of WWE 2K24. So, I mean, not that he wanted to be, apparently, but they've got that whole finish the story mode, apparently, and all that kind of stuff. So it should be an interesting game, and they're just going to ride that gravy train, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to lead into that too. Yes, Cody
Oh.
been announced for 2K24. Belair and Ripley are going to be on the deluxe edition, and it will take us through showcase mode. It's a 40 years of WrestleMania, so there'll be some fun moments to play in the showcase mode. Looking forward to that. A return that is expected for the Rumble. Maybe we'll talk about it a bit later. Naomi expected to make her WWE return. Many sources have said. Excited for Naomi back?
Yeah, look, not really, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see if that happens and what they do with her. She never really grabbed me, to be honest. I was never really a big fan, so it'll be
Never
interesting
felt
to
the
see.
glow.
No, not really, not at all.
Well, we had an actual return. The Authors of Pain returned. They are now part of Carry On Cross's The Final Testament. And it seems like Bobby Lashley and the Prophets have a name as well. The Pride?
Like, what is that? That's a bit weird. The Final Testament is a bit also weird. We've got the Final Testament, we've got Judgment Day, but then the Pride, like I thought they could have come up with something better than that.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't officially said it yet, but there's been a lot of inferences to hunting and that kind of thing.
They're like the Alpha Lions. Is that what they're trying to be? Like,
yeah. So that's
we all know what happened to Mufasa. So
poor old Mufasa. He's going to be the scar of the Pride. We have Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. They are the new women's tag champions. Congratulations to them. But they are heavily favored to lose those titles to the Kabuki Warriors on SmackDown this week.
Yeah.
Speaking of returns, Pete Dunne is back.
Yes, that was pretty deadly. Weren't actually happy about that, were they?
No.
They did all of their homework for Butch,
For Butch.
and then who's this new guy, Pete Dunne? They weren't real happy about that at all. That was pretty funny, actually.
So yeah, good to see Pete Dunne back. I like that they kind of kept it. They kind of did that whole thing where they changed everyone once Vince wasn't in control. He kept that Butch going for a while, and now it's a bit more enjoyable now that he's changed back. And he's with his mate Tyler Bate, who is now on SmackDown as well. Lastly, did you see Grayson Waller on Sunrise?
Yeah, that was brilliant. It harps back to Vader when he was in Saudi Arabia that time, and that other guy from WCW back in the day that slapped the reporter.
Schultz.
Yes.
Schultz, his name was, and Waller actually tweeted
I did see that, yeah.
a picture of Schultz as well.
Yeah, it was like
afterwards. A
kind of if you know kind of thing.
Yeah, but great stuff from Waller there. Kind of saved the segment a little bit because they were asking them to do finishing moves on their producer, and it wasn't coming off very well, and Waller had just had enough. And
well, the producer the producer could have just got up and stood there and they could have pretended to do something. He got up and started doing this and whatever else. And he
Yeah,
just, like, Waller just, like, perfectly, like, it was very kayfabe,
yeah.
it was very for the business. And I think it really worked. It went in his favor. A lot of people are backing him up. Even people that don't watch wrestling are like, why did that idiot producer do that? You know what I mean? Not that
Yeah.
I'm calling you an idiot producer, whatever, but
He's on Sunrise. That's fine. Um, but yeah, no, it kind of saved LA Knight a little bit too. They were kind of going at LA Knight, and he just
He
kind
was
of sat there and
stammering. He was like, oh, maybe
sat
do you
there
want
and
to
took
take
it.
this one? It was a bit weird.
Well, I will mention I did get to chat with Grayson and LA Knight for KO. Um, Lovely blokes. Grayson, look, I can't say enough good things about the guy. I know he's supposed to be a heel and, you know, kayfabe and whatnot, but absolutely lovely. We made some really fun Elimination Chamber content. So keep your eyes out for that on KO. Now, lastly, Benny, I want to get your thoughts on R-Truth in the Judgment Day.
I love it. It's brilliant. Like even today when he was trying to give him the money for the merchandise sales and then he was trying to get into the briefcase to put the money into the briefcase and stuff like that. Like it just works, you know. R-Truth as that comedic role, it just works every time.
That
Uh,
that vignette is probably one of the funniest vignettes I've ever seen of he told the doctor when he was born that he wants to be in the Judgment Day. That's his
yeah,
dream. Just absolutely freaking brilliant. Had me in tears, that one.
legend. He's so good at it.
Brilliant stuff. All right, we'll move on quickly to AEW Ring of Honor. Adam Cole is the devil. Uh Surprise, surprise. The Undisputed Kingdom are behind it all. They are the new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions as well. Not happy, Benny.
Look, I loved the whole story. It was brilliant, you know what I mean? And we all thought it was going to be Cole, but just the reveal at that very end there, even the reveal of the end and even the way MJF responded to it was just sort of, it ruined the whole thing for me. It was such a letdown.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought it
look,
was.
look, I love Cole. Yeah, I'm a big Cole fan, but just I think MJF could have reacted better as well. Like, just his wasn't like that whole. I thought he was going to like break down into this like, oh my God, you've ruined me. We were best friends, which he did, but he didn't.
Yeah,
It just wasn't believable. And just obviously Cole's injury, I think, ruined the momentum of it all, and it would have been a better reveal. And Wardlow, like, what is that? Like, he's gone from being MJF's puppet to now coming out, winning titles, hating MJF, and now he's just a puppet again. Like, what do you like? It does it. Yeah, it was disappointing overall for me. I'm sorry.
okay, fair enough, fair enough. I didn't mind it. I like the whole bit at the end where MJF was saying, "Hit me instead of him, hit me instead of him,"
Uh,
and then it turned out being Adam Cole. But in any case, yeah, it's kind of been a little bit of a letdown since then, seeing as MJF hasn't been on TV. His contract is reportedly up. He's rehabbing a torn labrum at the moment. So we may not see him for a while anyway, and we all don't know what's happening with his contract.
yeah. Well, it's he's not going to go anywhere else. You wouldn't think.
I wouldn't think, but we may talk about that a little bit later.
Hey.
Samoa Joe is the new AEW champion after beating MJF. I think this is going to be a good little reign for Samoa Joe until Swerve probably takes it off him.
Yeah. I think it was good that he took it off MJF. Remember that whole when MJF was in WWE and Samoa pushes him into the wall and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was just that, like they used another company to long-term storytell a little bit. And yeah, I liked it. I think he's a good champion to have. He's a good person, a good solid, person to carry the title until they come up with the next phase of what they're going to do.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He's what do they call it? Um a something champion where they're
Yeah.
yeah, I can't remember the word. Anyway, and this kind of leads to a tweet that TK put out when he announced Hook to take on Joe, and Jinder was taking on Seth in WWE, and Tony Khan just can't help himself
He
sometimes.
can't. He can't.
Sent a tweet out, because he got a lot of heat for booking Hook against Joe. Hook is 26-1, and saying, look what they're doing, and just yeah, made, as Jinder is calling himself now, the most talked about wrestler of 2024.
Yeah. Well, look, I think I sent you one of the tweets that I seen, and it said everybody says that TK only buys talent, can't make him, and look what he's done for Jinder in just one single tweet. So I mean, that was brilliant. Whoever tweeted that. He, yeah, it was just TK. Stay off Twitter, man, or
Yeah,
X. Sorry,
can't help himself. Uh,
degeneration.
Eddie Kingston won the Continental Classic. Probably don't need to talk about that too much, knowing how much of a big Eddie Kingston fan I am.
Oh well, I
Um,
actually really want to go in depth about it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Like,
well,
it
look,
was an okay,
I
it was an
love the
okay match. I thought it
yeah.
was an okay match, and I thought the ending was a little bit soft, but not soft, if that makes sense. It was good
Yeah.
storytelling, so I liked it, but it could have been a little bit more.
I love the idea of the Continental Classic. I just didn't like it so much when I realized the whole thing was just a storytelling thing for Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Uh, Kenny Omega out indefinitely at the moment with diverticulitis. Not good for Kenny. Hopefully, we see him back soon. Now, a couple of people whose contracts are up in AEW, will we see them soon? Andrade is now officially done with AEW. Sean Spears is done with AEW. Number 10 at the Rumble.
Do they not? They've got to cash in again, don't they? It'd be silly not to.
Even if you just pay him for the one night.
And you can do what Chelsea Green last year, just come in and get thrown straight out. Like, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
The crowd will pop.
We do have someone joining AEW though. Deonna Purrazzo is all elite. She looks like she's going straight for Tony Storm and straight for the title. But probably the biggest news out of AEW is they're going to return to their ranking system.
Hmm. See, Tony harped on this as well about the whole Hook thing. He's like a person that's undefeated and whatever else. Now, like kayfabe, yes, whatever else, but when it's predetermined, how can you have wins and losses and rankings for me? It's a bit. I feel like it puts people in a terrible position of trying to cheer on somebody that's not going to actually do anything or
Yeah,
could do anything. It's hard to put them over.
yeah. Looking to have it as a sports-based storytelling, I guess, is what he's after. But
It's
hey,
wrestling.
it
It's
worked
wrestling.
in the past. We'll see if it works again. Now we'll quickly touch base on some other things going on in the wrestling world. Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler, is now TNA. He also clashed with Dave Finlay at Wrestle Kingdom, so I think we'll see
That
him
was
at
good.
New
That was good.
Japan as well. Matt Riddle has signed with MLW, but he's also challenged Hiroshi Tanahashi. So we should see both of those guys in New Japan.
Not so good.
Not so good. Not a fan
Did
of
you did
Riddle.
you see it? Like no, I just think it
It
was
was
not a great debut.
it was weird.
Yeah.
And I guess the biggest thing coming out of New Japan is Okada is now a free agent officially at the end of
Hey,
January. He's not re-signing with New Japan. Um, where will we see him? AEW or WWE?
look, you'd have to think AEW because they've got that, you know, that thing going on between them and whatever else. And then he'd still be able to stay in Japan. He'd be able to like not relocate. If he comes to WWE, he's gonna have to relocate to the US permanently. He's gonna get a little push and then get straight back down to mid card. He's probably top five wrestlers in the world, but he's a bit older now.
Yeah,
He is, and he. I just don't think the WWE crowd know him, so
that's
it'll be
probably
hard.
fair.
It'll be hard to get him over. Like whereas AEW knows him,
They
and
appreciate him.
they do because he's a wrestler. He's not a sports entertainer.
Yeah.
And that's what the New Japan like the New Japan guys are wrestlers. They're not sports entertainers. They still hold a little bit of like the Japanese crowd love kayfabe essentially, and they love all of
Mm.
that. And that's who he is.
Yeah.
And he's never really broken through into the American audience except for when he went to Forbidden Door, was it last year or
Yeah.
All Out, one of the two. And so the AEW crowd the indie crowd, they get the wrestling side. So that's why I think he has to go there. He's not going to TNA.
No,
They don't
no,
have the
absolutely.
money. They don't have the money. So
It's one of two places. Sources say that one of his dreams is to have a WrestleMania match. So
true, true. With
we will
Him
see.
and Cody next year.
Ooh, yeah, okay. I don't mind that.
Hey, I don't
I don't
mind that
mind
either.
that. Well,
2025 Royal Rumble winner,
he's got
Okada.
friends in WWE too. He's got Shinsuke, he's got Cody. So there's a few people there.
CM Punk.
Um,
No, I'm just kidding. Um,
possibly.
well, the Good Brothers, essentially, like
Yeah,
uh,
AJ, Finn.
AJ Finn. There you go.
Yep.
Like, yeah, there's plenty of guys there that Triple H could use to pull him in.
Yeah.
But I think if they do it, they have to smash him real hard, like real hard. Like
Yeah.
either AJ needs a title, Finn needs the title, or Cody needs the title and he has to come in and just go hard straight away
Yeah.
for the crowd to do anything. Otherwise, it's going to flop. That's my
Yeah.
opinion anyway.
Absolutely. All right, Benny, time to get into one of your favorite parts of the podcast. That's
Hang
our
on.
Royal Rumble history quiz.
I've been studying,
You've
man.
been studying. You are ready for this. Now,
No,
I will tell you that the greatest Royal Rumble is not included in any of these answers.
that's the only one I looked up, Dylan. Come
All
on.
right,
Titus O'Neil
Benny.
fell under the ring. Is that the answer to everything?
That is the answer to everything. I'll throw you a nice softball with this first one. Who has won the most Royal Rumbles?
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold Steve Austin with 3. Who holds the record for the most times in the Final Four?
Oh, I don't know that one. Um, ooh, Randy Orton.
Well done, Randy Orton.
Really?
Randy
That
Orton
that
has
that
been
was
in
a
the
guess.
has been in the Final Four 8 times. He's been in 14 Rumbles and won 2. Which entry has won the most Royal Rumbles?
That's a nice and easy one. That's 30.
Number 30 has won 5 Royal Rumbles. Well done. Who holds the record for most eliminations in a single Rumble?
So this is a funny one. I want to say Kane. So I'll say Kane.
Okay.
Is
You
that
would
the
be
answer?
you would be wrong. It is Brock Lesnar with 13 in 2020.
Oh, in the one Rumble.
In the one Rumble,
Oh,
yes.
sorry. No, I knew that. I thought you meant overall. Sorry. Yeah. I actually
Well,
do have I do
oh,
actually have Brock written down here. Brock 13 eliminations. And
yes.
that was in 2020.
Yeah, that's correct. And they were all consecutive eliminations too.
So
I actually do have that question up next. Who holds the most eliminations over their career?
and I'll say Kane.
And you'll say Kane, and you'll be correct with 45.
And they weren't all as Kane either.
No, some were as Isaac Yankem, some were as Fake Diesel.
Thank you. Oh,
Uh,
see. Hey, look, I'm on here. I'm on here.
you're on fire. Right, let's see if I can get you with this one. 4 females have entered the men's rumble. Can you name them?
Nia Jax. Um, what was the great Kong? No, what was her name? Kong or something like that?
I will.
China.
Yep.
Um, Kong, what was something like that?
You are close. That was her name somewhere else. Had
Okay.
a different name in WWE, but if you get it, I will give it to you.
Oh,
Awesome Kong was her name somewhere else.
that's what I'm thinking of. Nah, can't give me what it starts. Is it 2 words or one?
It starts with K. It's one word. You
Karma.
can. There you go.
Yeah.
Well
Sweet.
done. And one more.
Oh, I shouldn't. Is it recent?
Do you want me to give you a hint?
Nah, not yet. Hang
No?
on. Just is
Okay.
it recent or old?
It's not recent.
Oh, I know. She eliminated the Great Khali. It was the Edge's wife.
You,
Yeah,
you think
yeah.
you know her?
The Glamazon.
Beth Phoenix.
Beth
That's
Phoenix. There
correct.
we
All
go.
right. You got there in the end.
Woo.
All right. Here's where I try to trip you up, Benny. There have been 26 Royal Rumble events. How many have there been where the main event wasn't the Rumble match?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with 4.
Actually, 7.
Okay. I was
We've
tossing
had
up between 4 and 6, so
we had Reigns and Owens last year. Then there was a 10-year gap. Punk and Rock was the one before that. And we had Angle and Mark Henry, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels and Psycho Sid, Bret Hart and The Undertaker, and the original main event, the Islanders, Haku and Tama against the Young Stallions, Paul Roma and Jim Powers.
that was the original mate, like Royal
That
Rumble,
was
the
the
first one,
original 1988 main event.
which was won by.
It was the Islanders.
No. The original Royal Rumble was won by.
Oh, it was Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
There's a little bit of oh yeah, it was too. Yeah, it was. Sorry.
Yes.
The very first official one though was won by Big John Studd.
Big John Studd. True.
Hey,
All
I've
right.
got some questions of my own here, mate. I can throw
You
them at
do.
you.
Well done. All right. This is the last one for you. Roman Reigns has defended his title 30 times over this
What?
current championship reign.
Is that all?
How many times has he defended it against more than one person? Not including this year's main event.
Okay, so Brock. Um,
As in, how many matches have been more than just a one-on-one match
oh, right. Sorry. Um,
out of the 30 times he's defended it?
oh, no, I've got no idea. I'm going to say three.
Only once.
Okay,
Mania 37 against Daniel Bryan and Edge
of
in a triple
course.
threat. Otherwise, they've all been one-on-one matches.
All right.
All right, that's it, Benny. You're off the hook now.
Can I throw a couple at you quickly?
Go for it.
All right. How many times has the Royal Rumble been won twice?
Is it 9?
It is. Well done. What year was the first time the winner of the Royal Rumble got to go on to WrestleMania to fight for the title?
Ooh, 90, 93?
Oh, he's on fire, kids. He's on fire.
Woohoo!
And all right, I've got one more. Four women have competed in all six women's Royal Rumbles so far. This will be the seventh. So four women so far. Only two are kind of on the active roster, and then one's no longer with the company, and one's I'm not sure. So there's only four. Can you tell me?
Is Asuka one of them?
Nah.
So competed in every Rumble, you're
Yeah. So
basically saying.
yeah, there's been yeah,
Four
six.
who've been in every Rumble.
Yes.
Natalia,
Yes.
uh, one we
You
don't know.
no.
Uh,
I'm not sure if she's still with the company or not.
okay.
One's one of your faves about a year and a half ago.
Liv
Been in,
Morgan.
been in a bit of trouble lately.
Yeah. Yeah. Liv
Yeah.
Morgan.
One's not with the company anymore and has just I think it's her that's stolen Tony Storm's gimmick.
I don't know the other two.
All right, Dana Brooke and Tamina. Anyway,
Okay.
I had plenty more, but we'll let it go.
Tamina paying $151 to win this year's Royal Rumble.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 1,051 to 1 if you want. There it is,
Okay,
folks. You've heard it here first.
let's get into the card, Benny. Let's kick things off with the United States Championship match. Logan Paul, KO. Logan Paul paying $1.30. Kevin Owens, $3.20. How do you see this one going?
Obviously, Logan's going to win this one. He'll win in true heel style. And there'll be quite a few spots in this. You know, we all know Kevin Owens loves to do something crazy. And Logan loves to put on a show and get his views up and all that kind of stuff. So Logan wins this one. I've got a little thing that I think might happen at the end. I'm not real sure, but if you want to tell us your thing first, if you don't have anything crazy happening at the end of the match, then if you go first,
Well, you
go
see,
second.
obviously Logan Paul's going to win, but is he?
Yeah.
I think Kevin Owens is going to win.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So I think Logan Paul's US title run has done what it needed to do. I think Ray comes back to screw him out of it. And I think Logan Paul doesn't need the title to be box office. So that's where I think that's going.
I think Logan wins. I think we get Logan and LA Knight at Mania for the US title, and that'll just be a back and forth, almost rap battle going into Mania. And
Yeah.
I think somebody's going to come back and cost KO and take a heel turn, and that's going to be Sami Zayn.
Oh,
Just throwing it
okay.
out there. Throwing it out there.
Interesting
We haven't
call.
seen him. We haven't seen him for a while. You know, he was here with the bloodline. He's gone good again, but that leads to KO and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania as well.
Okay. I don't mind where you're heading with that one.
Just throwing it out. I'm future booking, bro.
Future booking, future booking. All right. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship Fatal 4-Way, Roman Reigns, LA Knight, AJ Styles, Randy Orton. Reigns is paying $1.14, Orton $5, Styles $7, Knight $8.50.
Yeah.
Look, I'll just get straight in this. Reigns
Go
wins
for
this
it.
one.
Easy.
Easy money. I think originally I thought Styles was in this to get pinned, but now I'm not sure Styles or Knight might be the one to get pinned.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Either way, Roman's winning. You know, it's a fatal four-way, so therefore it's no DQ. He's got the bloodline. There's just so much other stuff. It's gonna be a decent match. There's gonna be a lot of false finishes for me. I think, Randy will hit every single one with an RKO, and then Solo will probably pull him out, and Reigns will reach over and pin one of the other two. Like you said, that's the way
Yeah.
I see it going.
So I say Reigns wins and Orton doesn't lose.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where
I
I'm going
think,
with this one.
yeah, it doesn't kill LA Knight's push because he already lost to him and he can just come back and then go down a card, like I said, to go against Logan. And AJ will brood a little bit more about it if he takes the pin and go a bit darker because he's got that whole
Yeah.
thing going on
I
with
think they need to
Michin.
do more with this like AJ heel turn.
Yeah, Uncle Alan, like Michin likes to call him, Uncle Al, and he'll go darker and deeper because of this.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Then he can go and take over the Judgment Day from Finn like he did to the Bullet Club.
The
Anyway,
book
no, that's
club.
too much, too much, too much. All right, yeah. But
Him
Roman
and
wins. Roman wins. We all know that. Does Rock
okay.
come out at all? Does Rock come out at all?
No, I don't think so.
No Rock? No
I
Rock?
think I think we've seen The Rock already
So paper
for the
only.
past. Yeah. Just
There
paper
you
and
go.
scissors. There you go. Well done. All right. The women's Royal Rumble match. Our favorite is Bailey at $1.67. We then have Becky at $3.50, Jade at $5, Belair and Banks at $8, and then Liv Morgan at 10. Now
Can
I'll
I
throw.
just can I preface something quickly?
You
I
can.
did not look at any odds before I made the picks that I've made, okay? And just I'm honestly, hand on my heart, swear on my mother's life, like I did not look at any odds. I made my picks. I then went on and I had a look at the odds and I went, oh, okay, that's a bit weird. So just prefacing that, okay?
So you picked all the favorites. I'll throw some other odds out for some interesting ones. So Alexa Bliss, Julia, and Naomi are all at $15. Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez at $21. AJ Lee's at 26. There's some interesting to enter the Rumble odds. AJ's only paying $1.20 to enter the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Liv
At
$1.20.
at entrant 30, I reckon too.
Yeah, you feeling number 30.
Yeah.
Liv's paying $1.25 and Jade just $1.30.
Good,
Now
good money. Good money that.
good money. You're thinking Jade comes out. Now, lastly, I'll give you some odds for most eliminations. Becky and Bianca are on top with $2.50, Jade at $3.50, and Nia at $4.33. So, what we'll do with these Rumble matches, we'll give you a surprise, a bit of a roughie, and then our final four, final two, and our winning prediction. Benny, would you like to do the honors and go first with your first surprise female
Well,
entrant?
again, my surprise was, as I said, I've got two. I said AJ Lee, but I'm calling it as entrant 30. And we've been told that Undertaker and Michelle McCool are going to be in town for his show. So I think Michelle McCool is the other surprise for me.
I feel like they've been showing her highlight quite a bit of her entering
Yeah. And,
the
and they
Rumble the
talked,
first
they even
time in the
talked about it
crowd.
on Raw today.
Yeah.
Like Corey, they were talking about it today. He goes, oh, when she got out of her tracksuit and came into the ring in Ugg boots, like yeah, I think, but so it's not really a surprise, but I can't think of anybody else that could come back unless, we're not going to get Mercedes Moné. We're not going to get, well, Sasha Banks, sorry. I mean,
Did
Naomi
you,
maybe.
speaking of Michelle McCool, did you see the online bit of Dom and Rhea watching the highlights from that women's rumble where she came in? And they're saying, yeah, she's a
Oh,
real
yes.
badass. She could
Yeah.
be in the Judgment Day, and she's like two mummies in the Judgment Day.
And then she goes, oh, you're brave, Undertaker's wife.
Yeah.
That was good. All right,
All
who's your
right.
surprises?
My surprise is Mandy Rose.
Hey, hey. I don't
Now,
mind it. I don't
it
mind it.
it's been almost a year since she was let go. She did send a very heartfelt message out on social media about how it's been a year. So that's my little sneaky surprise there, Mandy Rose.
Okay.
I'll go to my roughie now. My roughie is Nia Jax at $21.
I don't mind that. I actually don't mind that, but I don't even see her as a roughie, Like I feel like we'll get to that in a minute. But I mean, I just don't see her as a roughie because she's not going to stay in the match the whole time. She's either going to come out at 2 and be gone by 10, or she's going to come out at 27, 28.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Nia, but she's not going to be in the match for a long time.
I feel like maybe we've seen so many times the multiple women eliminating whoever,
Yeah.
or multiple people just eliminating the bigger competitors, but we've never seen the bigger competitors for a long time
Well,
actually win the whole thing.
the only time the biggest competitors have ever won it were the two originals, Hacksaw and Big John Studd, and then
Yeah.
Yoko.
Yeah.
It's never the biggest person. So they all, they 15 team time them, they go against the ropes, they throw them off again, and then they go out. So I don't mind it. It's not too bad. What odds was it?
$21.
All right. Now tell me the odds for more. I've got two. I couldn't toss them up. I don't know if she's cleared, so I don't know if she'll be in it, but Dakota Kai.
I don't actually have the odds in front of me. Hang on
No, that's all right.
second.
That's all right. I can look it up, but I mean, it's just like
I did think that as well.
the whole because she's very with the Kabuki Warriors and that she's not a Bailey person. She's with the others.
Very close to being cleared.
Yeah.
So the timeline works out. Dakota Kai's at 17.
Okay, so she's less than Nia, so it's not as big a roughie as yours. There we go.
Yeah.
And my other one is Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, I don't mind that. She's at 23.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
There's my roughies.
Who's your final four, Benny?
All right, final four. We've got Bailey. We've got Becky. We've got Bianca Belair. And we've got Jade Cargill.
Okay.
That's my final four.
Close to mine. I had Belair, Bailey, and Becky as well, but I've got Naomi as that fourth one.
Ooh, don't mind it. Don't mind it.
Who's your final two?
Bailey and Belair.
Okay, I've got
Belair a chance to win her second Rumble, and then Bailey gets rid of her.
So
we might even get a skin the cat from Bailey. Belair thinks she's won, and she gets up on the ropes, and Bailey comes back in like Sean did to British Bulldog, and all over.
So you've got Bailey winning.
Bailey winning.
All right, my final two are Belair and Becky, and I have Belair winning.
Ugh. Your favorite person in all the women's roster.
I didn't say I'm excited about it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's what I think's going to happen.
Somebody crop this, put it on Facebook, Instagram, put it on YouTube, get all of this. Dylan just said that he's a fan of Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair will win the Royal Rumble.
Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you seen the previews for Love and WWE? Excited about it? The Bianca Belair and Montez Ford year in the life of?
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm super thrilled for that one. All right, let's move on, Benny, to the men's Royal Rumble. I'll just say, okay, Benny has Bailey. I have Belair winning the women's Royal Rumble. The men's Royal Rumble. All right, you ready for some odds?
Should we say them, and then if we say the person, we can tell the odds?
No.
Okay, go for it. All right, go for it.
We've got Punk at $1.44 as favorite. Cody at $2.75, then a giant gap. The next is The Rock and Drew McIntyre at $8.50, and then Gunther and Sami Zayn at $10. Some interesting odds there. MJF at $13. Stone Cold Steve Austin at $15.
Not happening.
Bron Breakker at $19. Roman Reigns at $23. He loses earlier in the night.
But yeah, if they go on last, then obviously that's the stupidest bet in the world. But if they go on and he loses the title, his odds will get crushed.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not a bad bet to just have a cheeky $5 on him now, gamble responsibly at $19, because if he loses the title, he'll come into $2.10 minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. And then why not make that money even more by putting your money on AJ Styles and LA Knight and Randy Orton in the main event too?
No, gamble responsibly, folks.
That's right. Lesnar at $31, Andrade at $61. Now, some interesting to actually just enter the Rumble odds. We got Bron Breakker, the favorite, at $1.36. Bad Bunny at $1.44.
No.
The Rock at $1.53. Lesnar at $1.67. Okada's at $1.72, even though he will still be on contract with New Japan. Hulk Hogan at $1.91 now. He has come in after
Because of his Raw promo today, he goes, "Oh, or maybe somebody could win their third, and I think I've got one more in me,
maybe I've
brother."
got one more in me. Hogan at $1.91 has come in way shorter now.
Let me tell you something.
Cardona, $3.50.
Oh,
Um,
I'd love that.
UT Marshall at $4.33
Woo.
and MJF at $5.
Do you reckon CM Punk's got any pull and could get QT over there to enter the Rumble?
Maybe. Well,
Maybe.
isn't he best mates with Cody?
Oh, is he? I thought he was best
Cody's
mates with Punk. Oh, okay. Well, that makes
no,
sense then.
no. I think he helps run the Nightmare Factory with Cody. So
Okay, well, there you go.
Cody's got a little bit of pull there now, I think.
All right, I
Um,
went my surprises first this
hey,
time.
wait.
Oh,
Most eliminations. Who do you think the favorite is for most eliminations?
Omos. Come on.
It is not Omos.
Oh, okay.
Drew and Gunther are the favorites for most eliminations, followed by Cody, followed by Lashley.
Okay, well, one of my roughies, I'd also wouldn't mind having some odds on. So when I tell you my roughie, tell me what his odds are for eliminations.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Time to get into it. Who's your surprise?
I went first last time. You go first this
Okay.
time.
My surprise is Big E.
See, he came out today and it sounds like he's going to take a safer route and he's not going to be coming back. I think I've
That's
seen
a
a report.
swerve.
Is it?
That's a swerve.
No.
He
He's
said-
he's in AEW. He can't be in the Rumble. Sorry.
He said there is, I do not have a timeline.
Okay, so you're thinking Big E.
So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
I love it already.
We have Imperium are in the ring. Kofi and Xavier are in the ring. Gunther comes in. Imperium now have the upper hand. We hear New Day's music hit again.
Oh no, yeah. Oh.
It could only be one person if they're already in the ring.
Yeah.
That's my call.
Okay, I like it. So Gunther comes in, you said. See, I think Gunther's going to be first or second again this year. Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
My surprises were Brock, and I didn't realize that he was until the end of January, so mine was Okada as well. But I'd already said earlier on that I don't think he's coming to WWE, but that would be a real big surprise.
That would be awesome. Much like when AJ came over. I mean, I guess
we kind of had a feeling, but we didn't know.
But I guess it's the same kind of thing. The WWE audience didn't know AJ that well. But as long as you're pushing big to start with.
But that's the thing. It's the terrible thing to start Okada because nobody's going to know his music. And if he doesn't win the Rumble, then he has to eliminate Gunther and then go straight on and win the IC title, or it's just a waste massively.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. My roughies. I've got a few. I've got it. Like I can't just narrow it down.
What happened to deciding one, Benny?
I can't help myself, Dylan. You know that. So this is the person I said most eliminations. Just double check. One of my roughies, Chad Gable.
Chad Gable, for most eliminations, you want to know the Sportsbet don't even have a market for most eliminations for Chad Gable.
Beautiful. All right. My other one, obviously Jey Uso, but I crossed that one out. And then my other one is also the person's husband of the person you think is going to win the women's, Montez Ford. That's a roughie in my eyes.
That is a roughie. I'd say what's Montez even paying?
Because
Montez is paying $46.
We've been saying for a while that man needs a push. So, you never know.
Gable's 21, Jey Uso 17.
Okay. So they're roughies. That's rough.
Yeah.
All right.
My roughie is Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
At $46.
He's been teasing it, hasn't he? He keeps saying, I'll be the one that fixes it. It's teasing.
Yeah. Like I was thinking about what kind of storyline I could get out of the winner that wasn't one of the favorites. And the Solo winning the Rumble, Roman trying to convince him to take on Seth Rollins.
And it's the Batista Triple H.
And just pushing him too far. Yeah. So roughie Solo at 46.
Remember that? Batista with the contract?
Yep.
And then he just goes, and then Batista went on.
All right.
I like it.
My final four. Woo, Punk, Cody, Gunther, and Jey Uso.
Oh, 3 out of 4, and Jay was my fifth. I've got Drew instead of Jay.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So Jay was my fifth. So there we go. We were on the same wavelength there.
I then
And
have. Do you
yeah,
have it
go for
going
it.
down to Punk and Cody?
It has to, doesn't it? It has to.
Absolutely, it has to.
And before today's Raw, I was going to say that it was going to be Cody and Gunther again, and Gunther winning. But because Gunther came out, did that whole scenario with Seth and whatever else, and I'm going to take you and I'm going to do you and I'm going to pick you for the Gunther just went straight out the window. Um, so I agree it has to be Cody and Punk, but I'm just going to roll the dice and say Drew at the last second.
So you
There you
think
go.
Drew's going to win?
Swerve, bang, done. Drew's going to win. I just made that up on the
Wow.
spot. I've just done it on the spot.
That's
I
gonna
actually,
have that's gonna
I
have The
go.
Rock trying to get Roman Reigns over when he won the Rumble vibes.
I actually had Cody written down, and then just at the last second, I've just said Drew. I don't know why. This is what happens on Three Count Podcast, folks. You never know.
You never know. Well, I have the odds-on favorite CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble.
Okay, can I ask you an honest question? How hard will you mark out if he wins?
I'm gonna mark out pretty hard.
And fans,
Pretty hard.
I will be filming it live, and I will put it up on socials just for you guys to see how hard he actually marks out.
I am gonna start cranking Cult of Personality on repeat. Yeah, but I definitely won't be drinking, straight edge. But yeah, I will mark out super hard for that happening.
I can't guarantee
the,
that either.
the the reason behind it is the Cody finished the story thing. I think we need to think Cody's down and out. Otherwise, we're all just going to expect, okay, he wins the Rumble. Okay, he's going to go on to WrestleMania. We need more of this. Can Cody get there? Which I think will come at Chamber. So yeah, that's my prediction there.
Is Roman in the chamber and Cody wins the title, and then it's Cody versus Punk at Mania? Because Rock costs Reigns the title at Elimination Chamber. I'd love that. That'd be amazing. And then we've got
That would
Cody.
be amazing, but I don't think we're seeing The Rock at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
I think the plan is for Punk and Rollins and Roman Cody.
All right, you've heard it here first, folks.
We'll see.
Dylan's not usually wrong, so
where does Gunther fit in? I don't know. Okay, so that is our predictions. Benny has predicted Drew McIntyre to win the Rumble. I predicted CM Punk.
It was not him
Pick
originally.
one. Pick one.
No, I've done it.
Okay, Drew McIntyre.
He's so demanding, folks.
All right, it is time to get into the 3-count draft. The best non-Rumble Royal Rumble matches. So the best matches to happen on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. There are so many classics that have happened at the Royal Rumble. But Benny, you get to draft first.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell everybody what I said to you earlier today about how can it be memorable rather than best matches. But okay, yeah, I do.
Whatever you think is the best, whether it's memorable or
best for me. Fans, I do best for me.
If you want to go off Meltzer's star rankings or you want to go off what's memorable, you do however you want to do, Benny.
All right.
I feel like there is 2 clear favorites. I will see where you go with this one.
There's only one for me, and it's 99 Rock Mankind.
Ooh, that was not in my top 2.
Really?
Yeah.
See, this is what I hate. This is exactly what happens when I said to you before. Rock Mankind for me, that was brutal. Like no tomorrow. Those chair shots that
unprotected chair shots were just
it changed the business. It changed the business.
It did, probably for the better.
Probably for the better. You'll find a lot of my choices here change the business with the things they did. So that one there, I think. For me, it's very memorable. It changed the business, and for me, it's the best because it was memorable.
Okay, well, for me, this was memorable, and I think just one of the best matches. One of the most matches I've been the most excited for, and one of the best matches I think I've seen just in terms of storytelling. Triple H and Cactus Jack.
That was
the Royal Rumble 2000.
That was my number 2. Uh,
4.5 stars from Dave Meltzer for that one.
because you and Meltzer are on the hotline together. Old hotline bling over here. That was a street fight, yeah. That was just
It
again
was.
brutal like no tomorrow.
It was one of those ones where, Mick Foley had taken all he could take, and it was
And it was
time
just
to
like,
bring
come on,
out someone who can, do some damage. Triple H, Cactus Jack.
yeah. Don't mind it. All right. Well, so we've had Mankind slash Mick Foley in both number one picks so far.
Yeah.
Um, my next pick, I'm going to go with a last man standing match that ended in a draw, 2004 HBK and Triple H.
That is a great pick.
Again, storytelling wise, that whole HBK comeback, he was afraid of being injured and whatever else, and Triple H said, "I'll just put you into like a program with me, and you'll be safe." And they had some of the most brilliant matches over that year, but that was a pretty good one. Last man standing, it ended in a draw.
Absolutely. Good pick. Maybe not one of the best matches between the two, but certainly an absolute
Again,
cracker of a match.
yeah.
Um, all right. Don't hate me, internet wrestling community, for this one. One of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen.
You can't say his name.
Look, I'm not going to censor it. He pretended he didn't exist. Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit in 2003, just an incredibly well told story. They didn't need high
Any
flying
No,
maneuvers. It was just like an absolute classic. Like,
no
yeah,
gimmick, no nothing. It's just straight up. Yeah,
straight up. And those two had such great chemistry as well. But yeah, that Royal Rumble match in 2003 was just incredible.
completely agree. It was on my list, but I was never going to pick it because I love the IWC and WWE. All right. So there's so many more. I've got my number 5 pick because I know you're not taking it. I've got a few here. This one here, the first ever tag team tables match, Hardys versus Dudleys in 2000.
Yep. Okay. That
But
was,
the rules were you had to put both participants through the table.
yeah.
And it was back and forth. It was full on. This is pre-TLC. This is like, and just watching it again on YouTube today, there was 12 or 13 chair shots, right, in that. But the funny part is neither of those two teams were the chair of the TLC.
No.
So like it's funny, right? It's crazy, but it was just such a brutal match, and then it led into the ladder match, and then it led into the TLC. So it just had that flow on effect, and again changed the business.
Yeah. Absolutely. That was on my list. It was a little bit further down, but it was on there nonetheless.
Eh,
Um, all right, where do I go from here? Um, I'm gonna take John Cena and AJ Styles from 2017.
good pick.
Look, they, another two guys who had great chemistry, put on some absolute clinics. If John Cena is like at the Rumble, he's the Royal Rumble MVP. He has absolutely brilliant matches in there. He has great Rumble matches.
Great Rumble comeback.
But great, yeah, one of the best Rumble comebacks at all time. But that match he had with AJ Styles in 2017 was epic.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I love it. Oh, all right. I've got so many more here. I think I'm going to take. Oh, I'm going to take another one that changed the business and changed everything and was such good storytelling. Not a great match, but it was an okay match considering. It's 1993 IC title, HBK versus Marty Jannetty. It came on the back.
Okay.
It came on the back of HBK's heel turn, putting him through the barbershop window, and it just skyrocketed HBK's career.
When you said 1993, I thought for sure you were taking Bret Hart and Razor Ramon.
That was on my list. That's on my list, and I'm not picking it for 5, just so you know. And that was possibly Razor's push, the one you're talking about, and it could have, but Brett won. But yeah, that HBK, it was a decent match. They put on a great match because they had that chemistry and whatever else. But everybody could see from there that Sean was
He
the
was the
next
star.
big thing. And but it, yeah, just the way that it changed his career and just pushed him to the stratosphere. He grabbed the brass ring essentially from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good pick. I didn't see that one coming, that's for sure.
You won't see pick five, brother.
Oh, okay. All right, where do I go from here? Um, look, I'm gonna go. It's no, I'm not gonna go that way. Okay, I'm gonna save that one to my last pick. I don't think you're gonna take that one. I'm gonna take Jericho and The Rock in 2002. Um,
Okay.
two guys with great chemistry, an absolute cracker of a match. Jericho had just been given that a big push.
Hmm.
Obviously, The Rock was the biggest star at that point, and yeah, just an absolute cracker. Jericho and The Rock, 2002.
Hey, take it. How do you know that the business is going to shit? You're putting the title on Jericho. That wasn't then, but that was a bit earlier. Yeah, great. Jericho was the ever opportunist in that match, like ultimate heel, great one. So is this pick four or five?
This is number five for you.
Ooh, all right. I'm taking it. I could put it as a honorable mention, but I want it to go up on the socials just because of this. This match was 1994. It was a tag match. Do you know where I'm going?
No, I don't have this on my list.
No, it's definitely not on a list. It's not even in the top 100, but 1994, the Quebecers versus Brett and Owen.
Okay.
Because let me tell you what. Let me tell you something. Brett and Owen. Brett went down with the knee injury. Owen attacked him afterwards. Brett went on, limped out to the Royal Rumble. He joint won the Royal Rumble. They went on to Mania. Owen won. Brett then won the title, and then they had a SummerSlam match, and it was just the beginning of the greatest rivalry in WWE history, Brett and Owen. That's why.
Okay.
It's entrenched in my memory as something that I'll never forget. So that's why it's a best match because it's so memorable.
Well, I'm going to take a memorable moment with my fifth pick as well. And it's very much a recency bias. I'm taking
Uh,
Reigns and Kevin Owens
yeah.
for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship last year, where Sami Zayn turns on the bloodline afterwards.
Nice.
Good, great match. Owens and Reigns had so many. They wrestled each other like three times for the title on Royal Rumble cards.
Yeah, well, they had the
Uh,
last man standing match, remember? And then they actually put real cuffs on him and they couldn't get the lock
and they
undone.
with the
So
ref
Rain,
botch.
yeah, Reigns had to like pretend to get on his knees to stand up because they had real cuffs and yeah.
The classic botch. But that was actually a really good match too, up until the kind of botch moment. All right, Benny, what have you got for honorable mentions?
Cena Umaga '07.
Yeah.
Cena was bleeding like a stuck pig. He was just like in all sorts. Um, HBK Edge '05. It was sort of that passing of the torch thing, elevating Edge to that next level because it was HBK that
Yep.
gave it over. And oh, this was a funny one, but 1996, the winner of the IC title, first ever match, Gold Dust beat Razor. It was his first ever match. We'd had the vignettes and whatever else, but it was his debut. He came out. It was very weird. Nobody knew what to do when he beat Razor and won the IC title.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I had Punk and The Rock 2013. I thought that was a classic match. Obviously, I'm a Punk mark, but still. Um, One which I really wanted to take, another memorable one, and it was actually a cracker of a match too, and it wasn't that long ago. Rollins and Reigns in 2022, when Rollins tried to psych Reigns out, coming out through the crowd to the Shield music.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was a brilliant match, and that was, I think, Reigns' only title defense that he lost, because he lost by just DQ. Um, so there you go. Ambrose and Owens had a last man standing match for the IC title in 2016, which was an absolute cracker as well. And then, I couldn't pick him twice, but Jericho and Benoit for the IC title in 2001, a ladder match, is actually one of the
Was that the
highest.
one when Jericho like lost his teeth or something? Like the ladder actually hit him pretty hard and
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I
he
remember
he
that.
had
Yep.
he had Benoit in the walls of Jericho with the ladder
On
going
top
into
of the
his
ladder.
back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah,
Brilliant,
that's
brilliant.
actually the I'm talking about
Melter,
Meltzer star ratings, but that's the highest rated
4.75.
4.75. There you go, Benny. Well done.
Because I knew it wasn't going to
Um,
be five, or you would have said it early.
what else? We had Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan in a strap match for the Universal title.
R.I.P.
Um, one which was memorable, wasn't a great match. Uh, Steiner coming back and taking on Triple H in 2003.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was absolutely terrible. And then Asuka and Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's title in 2019 was another cracker as well. All right, there you have it. Benny, you have The Rock and Mankind in an I Quit match. Triple H, HBK, and Last Man Standing. The Hardys and Dudleys in a tag team table match. HBK and Marty Jannetty for the IC title. And the Quebecers against Brett and Owen Hart.
Stop laughing while you say it, mate. It's the
Uh,
meaning behind it.
I feel you. Uh, I have Triple H and Cactus Jack in a street fight, Angle and Benoit, Cena and Styles, Jericho and Rock, and Reigns and Owens in 2023, where Sammy turns on the bloodline. All
You
right.
had to you had to add that little bit on yours, didn't you? But you
Uh,
didn't add any on mine. It's all right. I like it.
what do you want me
Look.
to add to the Quebecers v Brett and Owen Hart? You already spoke about it for 10 minutes.
All right, folks. On that note, thanks
On that
for
note, that is it for our Royal Rumble preview. Look, we'll be back next week. We're going to discuss everything that happened as the road to WrestleMania begins, as well as the road to Elimination Chamber in Perth.
we'll see you there.
Thank you for joining us, Benny,
Mate, pleasure as always.
and we'll see you again next time on the 3 Count Podcast.